All right, on this episode of Bare Knuckle Bowker, very excited to be talking to an individual who's competing in a very exciting fight as part of BKB 45 on September the 6th. We've got Martin Reffell stepping into the mighty Trigon to take on James Connelly, and great having Martin on Bare Knuckle Bowker again. How you doing, man? It seems like you're getting in some hard work as per usual.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready for this. I've just done some sparring for tonight with a good mate of mine, Brett. He comes in and does some sparring. He's heavyweight, so he puts me through my paces.
And it's interesting because I saw a post from James Connelly, and it seemed like it was a little bit maybe, I guess, on like the cheekier side, I suppose, where he was like, "Oh, okay, we were the co-main event before, but the Malignaggi Goodjohn fight falling out and being moved to a later card." He was like, "Oh, so are we the main event now? Like, has the promotion communicated to you whether or not you guys are the main event for BKB 45 now?"
No, I'm not no communication, but to be fair, I don't know. I'm not bothered where I am on the roster. I actually, to be fair, prefer fighting earlier on in the night. Don't get me wrong, being main event and co-main event's always great, but earlier the fight it's done in it. You don't have to sit around waiting for it. So, but no, I haven't had it communicated yet. I'm guessing we're our main event, but again, it doesn't really matter for me.
I was gonna say maybe that answers another question that I had because when you fought Roland Dy and got that victory at BKB 37, that was headlined by James Connelly and that Jimmy Sweeney fight and everything like that. And it seemed like a big victory for you on that card as well. But just wondering if, yeah, maybe that represented a sense of like maybe upward mobility for you. Just, I mean, you were fighting for a title on that card and great performance against Rolando D, but you're now fighting the guy who was the headliner on that prior event. But based on how you laid things out there, maybe that's not kind of how you're looking at things, I suppose.
Listen, like, I don't look at things like that. I get told who I'm fighting. I get told when I'm fighting. Um, Kennelly is a legend of the sport. I've always got respect. I've always looked up at Kennelly. I've said it before. You know, Kennelly, Sean George, when I started, Scott McHugh at the time, Sweeney, all of those gents, they were all fighting before I got there, and I was looking up to them. You know, Tyler Goodjohn was fighting, um, Tony Lafferty, they were all fighters that I kind of looked at when I first started and was like, wow, these are people that I've got to either aspire to be or aspire to fight. So stepping in the ring with James Connelly is absolute massive for me. I have got nothing but respect for the lad, but like I've said many times before, though I've got respect for people, when that bell goes, it's a different story. I know he's got respect for me, and I've heard some of his interviews. He wants the fight done and finished. He wants it knocked out. Um, but it ain't going to be that. I have no predictions for this fight, but I know that it's going to be one hell of a fight. Last fight against Liam, I'll take nothing away from Liam, but I cut a lot of weight. I wasn't very nutrition for it. You know, I gave 6 rounds of hell for him, but you know, it wasn't the full me. I'm not saying it would have been ever different from if it was a full me, but yeah, that fight, I made mistakes in that fight. We learned from that mistake. We learn from our mistakes and we move on from that fight. So, you know, this fight, Kennelly is getting the best of me, and there'll be no excuses. He is getting the best of what the Rebel can bring, and you know, it's going to be a damn good fight. And yeah, it won't be stopped early. That's for sure.
And what was it that you, I guess, I mean, you were talking about how it wasn't like a great weight cut, obviously. Is there something you can take away from that to, I guess, subvert that happening again in the future? Like, was there a core thing in that weight cut where you were like, okay, here's where things kind of went awry, and here's what I'm, I guess, not going to do going forward? Like, was there anything in that regard?
Um, so I'm not going to go back down to that lower weight. I'm not going to go back down to the lower weight. Um, I made that choice purely on the opportunity that was risen for me. But going up the weight, I have done a lot of different. So I've got Aaron McCallum. He's sorting out my nutrition. He's put me on a meal plan. He's got me eating everything right. He's got me a meal plan for fight week. Um, yeah, I've made a lot of changes for this one. I have made a lot of changes. Don't get me wrong, I was eating clean, but when I was losing weight, I just didn't eat right in the sense of the last week. I was struggling to keep the weight off, and I wasn't eating no carbs. I wasn't fueling the body. So a lot of mistakes were done. But this time I've done it right, and I've got the backing behind me.
There must be something exciting to it as well, just considering. I mean, you touch on the last fight, and it wasn't necessarily yourself out there, but I feel like sometimes when, something like that happens in like a championship scenario, it can be a bit of a, I guess, longer path to kind of get yourself oriented back towards championship contention. But going in there against such a highly ranked contender, and Connelly definitely could serve that idea, just having you right back in that mix. And then, not overlooking this fight, but if you were to get your ideal outcome, that could also, I guess, serve that master of getting that LT Nelson fight that you've indicated you've wanted for a while. So it seems like a great fight booking to have after the Liam Rees fight and everything.
Listen, so when I went to gym afterwards, like I was gutted after that fight, like because I know that was mistakes were made, and I was offered somebody else. I think he's fighting on the card. Dan Catlin, I think it was. I was offered him, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. He's a debutee, but he's a really good boxer. And then Jim come back to me and went, oh, we've had a change of plan. Let's do it higher weight up. James Connelly, and instantly I went, now that's the fight I want. Like I could have come away from this and I could have gone, right, I want an easy fight, I want this, I want that, and I could have slumped into a hole, you know. But all it's done is made me want to come back stronger. So to have Connelly as my next opponent just shows that yes, I can lose, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to try and get myself back to where I need to be. And he lost his world title fight, I lost my world title fight. We both can make that weight, so it's the fight that needs to be made, and we both want a shot at LT again. Well, he wants a shot at LT again, and I want a shot at LT. So it's the fight that needs to be made, And Connelly is a really good fighter, and I'm a really good fighter as well. So we'll go for it that way.
Yeah, and I guess it just shows your, I guess, gamesmanship, but also, I guess, your adaptability with everything, because you kind of indicated there, like BKB offered you a fight against someone who's a debutante, and at the same time, you're like, well, yeah, sure, I'll take that fight. But then they offer you such a top-ranked contender in Connelly, and you're like, okay, now we're cooking with gas here. I imagine that behooves you in, I guess, matchmaking processes to a certain extent, or at least serving the idea of having like a consistent, schedule and everything with competing, because it seems like you're game to fight whoever. And that also seemed evidenced too by the fact that you were the backup for the Gregoris, Cisneros, and Barrie Jones light heavyweight title fight, and how dramatic the shift in weight classes it was there.
Yeah. So listen, you can ask Jim, and Joe, and anybody else. I've said no to no one. Right. So whenever I get offered a fight, it's yes. I don't care who I'm fighting, when I'm fighting. I'm not bothered where I'm fighting. Like I'm in this game to fight. That's what I'm here for. I enjoy it. Everything else is a bonus around it, but I love to fight. So when they offered me Levici on my second fight, I didn't say no. They offered me Scott McHugh on my third fight, I didn't say no. So there's no one out there that I am going to say no to. Don't get me wrong, I did and ah when they offered me Levici for about 30 seconds, but I still said yes. Ryan Jett, that was meant to be someone else that would have been an easier fight. And then they ended up changing it to Ryan Jett. I still said yes. Like, there is no one out there that I'm going to say no to. Don't get me wrong. If I've got to go up too many weight classes or come down too many weight classes, then obviously that's where the answer is going to, I'm going to start saying no. But when I'm bouncing between one or two weights, it can be done. So it's not like it can't be. So why not? Why not do it?
And you mentioned Ryan Jett. Like, would that be a rematch that you'd be especially keen to get? Like, not even just in the context of that was a unanimous decision defeat for you in the classic, even up the series kind of language, but would it also, I guess, in a way to you, show your, I guess, localized improvement with fighting in the Trigon? Because it really has seemed like you've curated like a very strong ring craft specifically for the Trigon, and maybe, beating Jett could, I guess, show the progression within that, if that makes sense.
Listen, if I get offered Ryan Jett again, right, the answer's going to be the same as it would be. Yes, I'm not going to say no to it, and I'm not going to sit there and go, that's what I'm hunting for, because I think Ryan Jett's gone up a few more weight classes now. I think he's fighting at light heavyweight at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, like it's not something that I'm hunting for. I know what I want, and I want the LT fight. Even if he didn't have a world title, I still want an LT fight. I still think me and LT would be a cracking fight. It's not the title that I'm chasing; it's the fight I'm chasing. But yeah, if they offered me Ryan Jett as a rematch, cool, I'll take it. The answer will be the same as it is always. Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's the classic thread with you is you're always gonna be game to, throw down with whoever. But yeah, I mean, it seems like Jett has a pretty interesting fight coming up as well. Like you talk about him even kind of moving around in weight a little bit and everything like that. Like it seems like he is a very intriguing fight coming up here against Jesse Ronson in September, who's a former UFC veteran, has also fought in bare knuckle MMA for Game Bread FC. Like, did you have any particular thoughts on that upcoming fight? It seems like a very intriguing one at BKB 46.
Um, well, we'll see, but I think that's going to be an intriguing one. The thing about Jett is, like, don't ever underestimate the lad. He is a strong fighter, so it don't matter what you've got. Like, we all know I'm a brawler and I can go for it, but I'm telling you now, and I say it to this day, I've still got fights to happen, but I stepped into that ring with Ryan Jett and he hit me with the first 1-2, and it was the one moment in my life I sat there and went, wow, that stung. That stung. Don't get me wrong, we went the 6 rounds and 5 rounds or whatever. It was 5 rounds, yeah. Um, we went the full rounds, we went the distance, and he won on points. But honestly, that first round when he hit me, I went, oh, this is gonna hurt. But yeah, he's a strong opponent, and he's got a real vision on how he fights. Like as he said in one of his interviews, he likes to get nasty, and think nasty thoughts about people. So he's got a way of fighting, and he is a strong, strong opponent. Um, but yeah, no, good luck to the lad. I think he's going to be. I don't think he's lost many. I think he's only lost 1 or 2, and he.
Yeah, I mean, and those losses are to the like real like cream of the crop kind of fighters and stuff like that. So even within that, yeah, it definitely shows that he's a pedigreed fighter on the circuit for sure.
Yeah, like he's up there. He's one of those fighters. So yeah, if the rematch comes about, but I have got my eyes set on what I've got. And I'm not looking past Connelly. Connelly's going to be one hell of a fight. I even said it to somebody. I was like, look, I've done a world title. I've been in British title fights. I was like, even without the title being on the line, this Connelly fight is going to be one tough, strong fight. Like he can box, he can fight, he can go toe to toe, he can take it to the trenches. Like yeah, it's going to be one hell of a fight, and I'm really looking forward to it. Like I am really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it seems like such a perfect fight because, as you just kind of illustrated, you've been a guy on the BKB circuit for a decent enough bit now and have captured BKB gold previously and everything like that. And Kennelly obviously has been a big fixture on that circuit for a little bit as well. So it would seem like someone you had like a peripheral focus on for a while, I would think.
Do you know what? He was always in my mindset, but he's always fought in the BKB scene. He always fought a bit higher than when I was actually ideally wanting to go. So don't get me wrong, I will bounce if needed, like I say. But 79, 80 was somewhere I never really thought about coming to. So when Jim come to me and said 76, I was like, well, that's I've been there before. I've fought there before. It's not like I haven't done it. So yeah, so he's come down. So he was in my always there, but he was fighting at higher weights. And now in the BYB, obviously he's come down or he's doing that. But yeah, listen, everybody's in my sights in the end. Like you've got to fight the best to be the best. I'm not saying like I am the best, but I'm definitely up there with the cream. So we're gonna have a good little tear up, and hopefully we can be mates afterwards and have a couple of drinks because definitely having a drink after this fight. But yeah, like I say, I've got a lot of respect for James, and I'm really looking forward to tearing it up with him.
Yeah, I mean, both of you guys seem like good lads. I imagine a post fight beer would be something well within the likelihood of happening for sure. I mean, I could see you guys kind of having that mutual respect, and it seems like that mutual respect exists heading in. Like both of you guys have always struck me as people who don't really get into. I'm trying to find a phrase this like trash talk for the sake of trash talk. Like I feel
Oh,
like you guys are like, yeah, I mean, just
they
let the
always
fighting
try
speak
and
for
get me to
itself.
trash talk. Everybody tries to get me to trash talk. Like, I've been asked to when I've done interviews before. Like, just do a little bit. I can't do it. At the end of the day, I'm not here to trash talk someone. There's two reasons. One, it's just not what I do. Two, What if I trash talk, make a prediction, and then it doesn't happen? Who looks like a twat then? Me. So I'd rather just get in there, have a damn good scrap, entertain, enjoy myself, and then come out after it.
Yeah, I mean, your fighting very much speaks for itself. Like, I remember one of your prior fights that you had was, I guess, referred to as one of the, I think this was prior to your BYB 30 performance when the promotion was still under the BYB name. But I believe Robin Black referred to one of your fights as one of the top 10 bare knuckle fights ever. And he's obviously a well entrenched, broadcaster and has done a lot of calls for those older BKB shows. So yeah, you're definitely a fighter where the action speaks volumes, no doubt.
That was definitely the Rolando. That was the Rolando fight. That was one hell of a fight. That was. I was the underdog in my own British title defense. I was literally down on paper to lose. I was like, yeah, bets were against me, and yeah. Don't get me wrong, he put me out in second round with on my standing. My eyes rolled in the back of my head at one point, but that fight was one hell of a fight. That was.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely incredible fight, man. And I would think that this fight would definitely fit within that as well. This upcoming throwdown and
I
everything
was
like
going to
that.
top it.
Yeah.
I know it is. I've dreamt of this fight. This fight is going to be one meaty little fight. It's going to be because I've got too much stubbornness. So unless he absolutely destroys me in the first 10 seconds, this is going to go to absolute carnage. I'm stubborn. He's good. I'm good. Like this is going to be absolute. It's going to be messy. It's going to be absolutely messy. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Like I'm genuinely looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think anyone who follows the bare knuckle circuit knows how incredible this fight is and just how much it has the potential to even exceed those lofty expectations. And I did mention it a bit before that the fight has since been moved to a later card, but all the same, I'd be curious to get your thoughts on that Paulie Malignaggi and Tyler Goodjohn fight, just as far as how you, yeah.
Do you know what? Right, I've watched Paulie a few times boxing. I've watched his bare knuckle, and again, respect for all fighters, but Paulie, he's damaged his hands. Like, kind of knew that was coming. Like, he's had damaged hands before in his sport. Paulie's an amazing boxer, but he is not stepping in with somebody that doesn't know the game. Whatever haters hate Tyler, I actually like Tyler. He's all right. I've done some sparring with the lad, and I've got a lot of respect for the lad. But he can fight. He can. Like all these haters want to sit there and go, he can't do this, he can't do that, and he's this and he's that. But actually, Tyler can go to the trenches, and Tyler will go to the trenches, and he will, and he can box and he can move, and I think Paulie's biting way more than he can chew on this one. I could be put wrong. I doubt it, but I could be put wrong. But watching, even if you put it on, like watch the fights. If you watch Paulie's big bare knuckle fight, and then you watch Tyler's bare knuckle fights. Yeah, I just don't see it. I think Paulie's should have started a little bit. I don't know. I believe Tyler will win that fight, whether it be stopped or if it goes to points. I think Tyler will walk away with that win.
I guess like a talking point that some, I guess, fans and also even fighters have had to a certain extent, though. I mean, obviously, it's several years after his last bare knuckle fight, so there's going to be the, component in that regard too, just getting older, etc. But I think some people have this idea that I guess even by virtue of him being like a studious enough fighter and how many broadcasts he's been on covering bare knuckle, that perhaps even his approach might be refined or at the very least slightly, I guess, altered or more localized to, I guess, the specific considerations of a bare knuckle fight versus, I guess, the assessment of the Artem Lobov fight a lot of people had, where it seemed like he kind of brought like a gloved boxing sensibility to a bare knuckle
Yeah, in a
context.
massive,
Like, yeah,
great big ring like this. He doesn't have that. He's walking into a literally, compared to that ring, he's walking to a cardboard box. Not in the sense of it, but it's tiny. It's tiny space. Like he isn't going to have the movement of that big ring. Like that trigon is absolutely legendary for making it messy because you've got nowhere to run. It is bigger than it looks like when you get in there, but it's literally you've got nowhere to run. Like there is nowhere to run, and Tyler's not going to run away from a fight. Like he is going to go in there and he is going to tear it up. And I hope it's going to a cracking fight. Like I really do. But I've said it. I think I think Paulie's bitten off more than he can chew there. But I could be wrong, and I'll eat my words if I am. But you know, I think Tyler walks away with that one.
And I guess another kind of thing that I wanted to touch on too, because LT Nelson has been mentioned a couple of times and how that's like a big fight you want to secure one day. I guess I'd be curious to get your thoughts because I had seen you were at the venue, I believe, checking out the rematch with Sam Liera where LT avenged his lone loss under the BKB banner and everything. Like, what were your thoughts on that performance?
Well, I was cracking fight. I honestly thought it was going to be a bit more of a tear up, but I think LT had a point to prove, and that's what he did. Maybe the rematch, people could sit and say the rematch could have been done sooner. Um, but yeah, nah. Take me out of LT. He is a superb fighter. And it's not. It's not even the fact like he's a skillful. He's just relentless. Like he just keeps coming forward, and you catch him, and he keeps throwing, and he gets caught, and he keeps throwing. And I think it's brilliant. And like I said, whether he's a world title holder at the time or not, I think the LT fight will eventually happen, no matter what. No matter what happens, like I will get that fight, and if not, if one of us retires or leaves before, then I'll be gutted because that's definitely a fight that I want to make happen.
Yeah, I mean, such an incredible, potential for excitement that fight has, no doubt. I guess in terms of this Kennelly fight, though, like when, media types like me are writing the articles after the dust settles and everything, like what do you think the headlines are going to be reading after you and Kennelly finish up your fight, you think?
Um, well, that kind of leads into a prediction I don't predict, but it's gonna be nice try though. It's gonna be messy. That's what the headlines are gonna be. It's gonna be messy because no matter what the outcome on that, um, I want to win. I have to win. If I want LT, I have to win. LT beat Connelly. I want LT, so I've got to beat Connelly. But no matter the outcome, that fight's going to be messy and it's going to be entertaining, and you know, it's going to be one hell of a night. So, but Connelly will not be taking that knockout in that quick fight. It's going the distance. Like I'm set in stone for a war. So that's what we're going to have.
Yeah, and a win here would provide you a multitude of options for that because you're number one in the middleweight division right now, per the last update, where LT resides over as the champion and then also the super middleweight champion as well. But yeah, if you beat Kennelly, he's in that number one spot too. So you could potentially vie for either title depending on, what they call you up for and based on
Well, this is it.
yeah.
This is another reason why I was buzzing for this fight because not only does it give me the opportunity to be, well, I am number one in the middleweight, but it also gives me the opportunity to be take Kennelly's spot as well. But yeah, it's a big fight. It's a big fight. I'm looking forward to it. Like literally. And do you know what? Right. Normally camps feel like they drag out and they feel like they really do drag out. It's in 3 weeks' time. Not even that. 3.5. What we are? 3.5, 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, around that, yeah.
Yeah, literally. We're literally within itching distance. Like I'm buzzing for it. Like just gone out and bought myself a new car for the trip down to Bristol. Yeah, like no, I'm well looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. And you're clearly putting in the hard work as evidenced from what we're seeing here. And to the prior point, I want to let you get off and grab a bite to eat. Seems like it's well deserved, but I figured I'd give you the floor if you maybe had a final thought you wanted to add as we're wrapping up here, man. I appreciate the time as always.
Listen, I want to thank all my sponsors that helped me, all my supporters and fans. Thank you for letting me have a platform to talk on. I didn't make the media day, so this is a proper interview that, I appreciate it. And to everybody that's going to be watching, you're not going to be disappointed. I promise you this now. So it is going to be one hell of a night. And if you've got a ticket, by God, you're in for front row seats.
Yeah, it's an incredible fight and so stoked for BKB 45. I'll certainly rather be tuned into what's going on September 6th. This James Connelly fight is so exciting, man. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on Bare Knuckle Bowker. Always good getting to talk to you, Martin. You have a good rest of your day, and thanks so much for the time.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me, big man.